Hello, this is the Harboring Light. I'm Mary. I give a conservative perspective about the world around me. Feedback is greatly important, so please feel free to reach out to me either through email, Substack, X, and of course fill up those comments on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. And now, I'm going to start doing it more often throughout the new year. Working the time. So I have some comedic shorts out there. I'd like to know what you all think. So now I'm posting them not only on YouTube, which I started out with the shorts, but also reposting them on Substack and then on Twitter. So the link to follow my Substack on Twitter. I'd like to know what you all think. All right, so this episode is all about Christmas food eaten in Belgium. All right, let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to start out with the AI generated response, and then I'm going to go into depth about the aspects of Belgian food eaten for Christmas. All right, here we go. So, seafood, mussels are a popular Christmas starter, often served with fries, frites, and a variety of sauces. Potatoes is a Belgian stumpy, is a Belgian version of mashed potatoes. Is a staple side dish. It's often served with chunky sausages and fried eggs. And a fried egg. Game meats such as goose, duck, turkey, or roast lamb, just to name some, are a common main course, often served with a variety of vegetables and potato dishes. Frites. Belgian frites are beloved side dishes, often served with a range of sausage, including mayonnaise, mustard, and curry ketchup. Spacolas. These spiced, short-crusted biscuits are traditionally baked just before St. Nicholas Day, December 6th, which are a popular Christmas treat. Waffles. Belgian waffles are a popular dessert or snack, often topped with whipped cream, chocolate, or fruit. And the yummy chocolate, Belgium is quite notable for their chocolates. So Belgium is famous for its high-quality chocolate and is very popular during Christmas. So, cuberdons. These cone-shaped treats made with sugar and gelatin are sweet Christmas snacks. Pannenkoekje, a traditional Belgian cake made with honey, coffee, and warm spices, often served as a dessert. What am I talking about? A dessert. Stew. Okay, so this is a rich beef. They serve rich beef stews, which is cooked with beer, and it's a hearty Christmas dish. And shrimp. They have Cervix gracies, which is gray shrimp, which is translated as gray shrimp, are a common ingredient in Belgian Christmas dishes, often served as an appetizer or on a croquette. And liqueur syrup, this sweet brown paste made with pears, apples, and dates is often served as a topping for pancakes and waffles. So it concludes to say, this AI-generated responses concludes to say, these dishes are treats that are commonly enjoyed during Christmas celebrations in Belgium, often accompanied by aperitifs, wine, and juniper, a juniper-infused grain alcohol. Okay, so after this, I'm going to switch things up. So I'm going to give my thoughts to set up is a interlude, you can say, with my thoughts, and then I'm going to wrap up by talking about the 10 traditional 10 dishes that are eaten at Christmas in Belgium. All right, thoughts. As corny as it sounds, Christmas really is the season tis the season. And what does that mean? It's very remarkable when you think about the aspects of well-received, getting even more depth into the aspects of religion. And when the aspects of faith connects to all countries to the point of it's celebrated in different shapes and forms. Even those who don't celebrate or don't that doesn't represent their faith, or they have other faiths, it's still in the topic of the conversation when it comes down to the aspect of celebrations and so on, about the aspects of where that comes to different layers of the reasons why you don't celebrate. Either you're for Jehovah's Witnesses reasons, or you're Jewish, or you're an atheist or non-believer, you believe in Islam and all kinds of things. But for the most part, with the aspect of the holiday season, it's very special that it connects to the importance of the golden rule, which is this: be good unto others, treat others in the aspects of treat others as you want to be treated. Now, there's a caveat to that. Some people, unfortunately, have weird thoughts, weird behavior, and they don't want to be treated right, fairly. But I digress with that. But in general, what it means is just being a decent person. And then even more so when you get into the aspects of the telling of Jesus, of his birth and his conception, and him, and it going on to there's other, going in more detail about the aspects of his adulthood and the resurrection and all of this. But let's go back to the birth of Christ. It's such a wonderful testament of the impact that in the heart, in the midst of darkness, there's hope. And that there is a calling for change. And to me, I think that's one of the most important things and one of the most important aspects about the celebration of Christmas, specifically internationally. And I think it's whimsical how the aspects of food tells that a lot. So, for instance, chocolate, Belgian chocolate, and other desserts and other foods that are celebrated and notable in Belgium, and so forth. The attention to details, the care, and it's centered around the joy and the impact of people coming together, friends and family, are people who don't know each other, strangers, or just talking and going about, and exchanging their ideas and their aspect. I think it gives the conversation to exchange ideas and their aspects of what Christmas means to them. And then giving that, and then sealing that with a nice layer of icing on top here, with food being a cozy layer to get that conversation going. And I think that's what's so unique about food, especially in the holidays. It really gives that focus or focal point into sharing and thinking about things and coming together on what's really important. And then even more so, the aspects of coming together and being kind and sharing, how that's very important, and how that's more reminiscent and more prevalent and understood, specifically in the Christmas season. Okay, so I am going to read a couple of articles here about Christmas food from Belgium. Okay, and these sources will be provided for you in this episode. So the first article that I'm reading from is from the website traveltomorrow.com, and it's entitled Top 10 Belgian Traditional Christmas Foods. So, I'm expelling more onto the AI-generated response with this, and then going even further about the tapestry, now bringing it on home with the feel of German food from that perspective to close out. So speculoos. Speculoos is a type of spice short biscuits with it, which is famous in Belgium, and although you can buy it year-round, it is traditionally baked just before St. Nicholas days, which is, again, as I said, December 6th. It is thin, sweet, and crunchy, and usually made in the image of St. Nicholas by being stamped on before baking. The main ingredients, which is as follows: flour, sugar, butter, pepper, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, cardamom, nutmeg, and a combination which makes for a deliciously spiced festive biscuit. And I can imagine that when you get in a combination of ginger, not only ginger, but with pepper and cinnamon, that I can imagine that packs a lot of spice. And it's cute how it looks with the aspects of gingerbread and all of that. That's quite nice. So waffles, famous year-round, the renowned warm and fluffy batter treat gains even more popularity over the Christmas period in Belgium. Christmas markets, especially in Brussels, produce them at speed, and delicious smells linger in the air. The topping choices are endless, but even nature are not no topping. They are mouth-watering and yummy as described. Chocolate, another famous Belgian specialty. Chocolate is another food that takes the spotlight around Christmas. High-quality chocolate brands sell heavenly hot chocolate, and you can often spot people waiting in droves to get their cup of the warm, sweet beverage. And it describes that this is a perfect warm drink for the winter season. Mulled wine, another hot drink to warm yourself as you stroll through the Christmas markets. And mulled wine, which I'm not going to try and attempt to pronounce that, but mulled wine is the delicious spiced winter wine, which is popular in many countries. But it is definitely worth drinking. Definitely worth drinking some in Belgium. Seafood. Seafood is a common starter for the Christmas feast, and plenty of Belgians enjoy both fish and shellfish, mussels too. are especially popular in the country and are considered a national dish. Belgian ports supply a wide variety of fish species such as cod, sole, herring, and monkfish, just to name a few. Potatoes. Potatoes are a staple of Belgium, from the famous Belgian fries, which are eaten with sauce or mousse, to every other possible ways of cooking them. The Christmas meal usually features a large piece of meat for the meat eaters, which of course needs vegetables and potatoes to accompany it. Potatoes are often served in the form of mashed potatoes or pommes duches, which are elegant little swirls of potatoes brushed with egg yolks, then cooked in the oven to attain a crispy golden color. Vegetables. A particular vegetable comes to mind when you think of Belgium. These are unsurprisingly featured in the Christmas meal. The first is of course, Brussels sprouts. But these are often accompanied by others such as white asparagus, mushrooms, and or things of that nature. So the latter is special to Belgium, which is typical for the winter. And the vegetables, these are vegetables that are featured in the winter season. So I am going to wrap up by talking about the Yule log. So Yule log, and growing up, for us the aspect of people, in Christmas, not movies, but songs, the yearly Yule log, and wondering what is it, with a child mind, log, how can you eat a log? And, just being curious about that. And then seeing the American version of Yule logs and on TV, and then being sold, and then tasting one. It's quite interesting how all this develops, and then finding out more and more as you get older about where it originates. So here we go. A popular dessert at Christmas is a Yule log, in English as it's known. This is a traditional cake, usually chocolate, of course, but it is the decoration that makes it such a treat. It can be a true work of art, as bakers use chocolate frosting with grooves, and textures. And me personally, I really enjoy that aspect of baking, when you sculpt it and the designing part of it, and the whimsical aspects and the feats that you can turn cakes or desserts into. Now, needless to say, I'm not a fan of fondant. I think that should come in moderation, especially when you see in the reality shows where that's the whole cake, fondant. But I think if you learn the uniques and the tips along the way, and techniques with shaping, frosting, and so forth, that can go a long way as far as decorating. But I digress. But, fondant has its place. But anyway, that's one of the qualities to elevate baking and take it to the next level. All right, so bakers use chocolate frosting with grooves and textures carved into to ensure the cake resembles a real tree log with bark. Yule logs can be made at home or bought to a bakery or shop, and are very extravagant. All right, so I'm going to wrap up by talking about this article here, and it's entitled "A Guide to Belgian Christmas Foods." So that not only picolas, but spicy picolas. So this is the Belgian and the Dutch that have a kind of second Santa. The kind man goes to the name of Saint Nicholas or Sinterklaas, who visits And then they go into more depth about visits the lower countries from Spain every December 6th. That's interesting. And brings with him not only presents, but generous helpings of clementines and spicolos for many kids who have been on good behavior throughout the year. The appearance of the shortbread biscuit in the form of St. Nicholas and his helpers and bakers throughout the land have for centuries signaled the joyous arrival of the holiday season. Records of bakers making these crunchy treats with the brown sugar, butter, and lots of spices on the eve of Santa Claus goes back as far as the middle part of the 17th century. And additional cookies with many happy childhood memories are attached to it as well. Christmas market treats. Most Belgians are suckers for our traditional Christmas market, with coziness as their first priority. Warmth is, of course, essential to keep the jolly mood going in Brussels. Hundreds of booths take care of this by serving even more of the city's specialty, fluffy waffles right off the iron, all over the country, and on trend with a growing European preference. Pancakes are made on the spot and smeared generously with Nutella, ladled out of giant pots. That's a whimsical description there, and especially now Nutella can be super sweet, but that pancake, I can imagine that's a special treat for the holiday season. And then the snowy, crisp air and the invigoration that you get from the snow, from the chill, the frigid air. That's something. It's one of those things that I equate it to, snuggling up with a warm blanket or cocoa and having that Nutella on your pancake or waffle. All right, so Belgians have no objections to a good smear of Italian hazelnut chocolate spread. They also retain a soft spot for their native cocoa. Their proof lies in the malts of high quality of hot chocolate by Belgian brands such as Lindans and Netas that are served during these winter nights. So, for those preferring more adult warm-me-up mulled wine at nearly every corner, as are sold at nearly every corner, as well as rows upon rows of juniper bottles. With the latter may not be heated up, the traditional Belgian Dutch liqueur, also referred to as Dutch gin, comes in a rainbow of flavors including cactus, apple, vanilla, and grain, and has an alcohol level 35 to 38% that's bound to fire insides. And I would definitely say that, that's the least. So, Christmas Eve, the ultimate burger feast. To put it simply, Christmas Eve is the Belgian equivalent to American Thanksgiving, according to the source. But with gifts. Often regarded as more important than Christmas Day itself, the evening is a family occasion during which tables creak under the weight of so much food. There's often turkey involved in the main course, though it's rarely as big a deal as the American turkey. But a piece of game or a nice roast are common as well. Complementing the meat, Belgian Christmas can be quite the bummer for vegetarians, let alone vegans, and are often mashed potatoes or pommes de cheese, elegant little swirls of potatoes that have been brushed with egg yolk before entering the oven to attain their crispy golden colored jacket. During truly traditional Belgian Christmas dinners, you'll encounter the entree of fish fillets or shellfish. Chances are increasing the closer you get to the seaside. English speakers, to English speakers, the Yule log is the traditional cake and can be a true work of art. And so you can get the alternative, which is often a store-bought ice cream variant, which makes for a lot of less hassle for the day. All right, so this reaches the end. So I'd like to know what you all think about the aspect of food and holiday season. And even more so the aspects of food and culture, particularly in this segment that I'm addressing with Belgium. So you can reach out to me either through email, Substack, X, and of course fill up those comments on YouTube. It's greatly appreciated. And I do answer them. All right, so this reaches the end of the Hovering Light. Tune in, turn up, and absolutely take care out there in the holiday season and in the new year. And of course, beyond. Bye-bye.